Hello, everybody. I said I was gonna remake this what if, and here it is. I'm gonna change a lot of things about the story. So if you like the first series, you don't have to watch this one. I'm not forcing you to. But if you want to see what I can do to alter the series to, in my opinion, make it better, you can watch the series. It doesn't. I just wanted to remake it because I know for a fact that that series got a lot of views and a lot of people didn't like it because of the way that it was set up. And since that was like one of my first what ifs, it wasn't as clean. It wasn't as clean because most of the video was me just ranting on about how I think things should have changed. So that and I rewatched it and I honestly don't like it as much as I thought I would. So and if you're asking, yes, I did just wake up. Which you're probably not. You don't give a fuck. I didn't upload yesterday, so y'all probably mad at me anyway. Um Anyway, this is not replacing any what if. This is just a pastime. Like if I don't wanna upload any other what ifs, or if this is basically just a free what if for me. Like y'all can like this, y'all if y'all want to. It doesn't matter to me. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to this what if. Y'all can dislike it, like it, y'all control it, send it to friends, subscribe for it, I don't know. But this one is not going to be as frequent as my other ones. And on Friday, I will not be doing Let's Talk because I want to upload a what if. And if I do that, then Let's Talk, it'll be two on the same day. And then people are going to start expecting that again. And the only reason why I did that when I first started my YouTube channel was because I was up all night and I had nothing else better to do. So I just kept uploading parts. Anyway, so this would be what if Kaguya raised Naruto. So first, the seal thing goes as planned. Like the only difference is that when Hagoromo, wait, is his name Hagoromo? No, it's not Hagoromo. It's upstairs. When the Sage of Six Paths and his brother seal Kaguya away, the seal instead of like the seal was meant to change her ideology on things. Like basically when she thought that humans like weren't as bad, like when she went back to the way that she was thinking before, she almost killed everybody with the tree with that tree with the 10 tails. She the seal would let like will loosen and she can get out. But the problem with that was when the seal loosened, if her ideology changed back to the way it was before that, well, back to the way it was when the seal before the seal got weakened, she'll go like the seal will just pull it right back inside, no hesitations. So when Naruto was born, Kaguya realizes that that's one of the reincarnations of one of her children. So the seal like forces her, but if she's interested by something, she can watch it. So she's watching Naruto and she sees like all the tragic shit that happened to him, and she slowly starts to get sympathy and she sees that the seal is weakening, but she doesn't notice it just yet. So this is when Naruto's still a baby and shit like that. Like this is before the anime even starts. So Naruto not really paying it like as a child, as like this little ass kid, he's getting so much hatred for the village, and Kaguya is starting to get slowly more sympathetic toward Naruto. And then now this is the beginning of the anime. Instead of Naruto like running from the village like because he painted the statues, Naruto is instead trying to train in the forest. But I'm gonna say some Jonin walked up to him, beat on him a little bit, then walked off because they did a terrible job on their job, so they thought they should just take their anger out on Naruto. So then, like Kaguya, like gets really not mad at the people. Well, Not like she has a human reaction toward it. Because, you know, the Otsutsuki are very fucking weird. So I'm going to say human reaction as in she gets mad at the people for beating on a little child for their mistakes. So the seal weakens some more and she's able to get out. But she doesn't notice that until she's literally on the floor in front of Naruto. And Naruto has been beaten, as of right now, beaten near them to the death. So, yeah, the Nine Tails could have taken over and just destroyed everything, but this is for the lore. Anyway, so Kaguya uses, I'm gonna say, this time to go into one of her dimension things, and Black Zetsu does know, like, she's alive, so he does use a white Zetsu to come into contact with her, and Kaguya, oh shit, my fault, I just woke up. If y'all couldn't tell by my voice, and I'm not even laying down right now. I'm just sitting on the bed. Kaguya, instead of like getting in contact with Zetsu, she destroys the clone of Zetsu. She destroys the clone of White Zetsu, and she takes Naruto into one of her dimensions, and in this dimension, time speeds up just a little. Like any jutsu, I'm gonna say in this dimension, any jutsu is buffed. So her healing, because she can heal people instantly, but I'm gonna just say it was like she decided that she was gonna do a little bit more than just heal Naruto. So this is how he's gonna yeah. So that happens. I'm not gonna go into detail at all because I already went into detail. I think she just altered some of his coding, and she talked to, and when she did that, the Nine Tails kind of sensed the power like that was hidden within Naruto now. Like she placed a whole bunch of she placed a seal, kind of like how the Nine Tails seal is, but basically this seal is supposed to unravel over time and slowly alter Naruto, either for the worse or for the best. So basically, depending on what Naruto thinks after this seal activates or after the seal disbands and he turns into this overpowered person, he can either A, destroy the whole earth, well, not destroy the whole earth, but like destroy the whole village and take over and rule, or he can be a good person. So I'm gonna say a couple of weeks passed, and the Jonin that was beating on Naruto got exiled from the village because after they did it, they kind of felt like not paranoid-ish, but basically when Naruto went missing, he basically told them that if Naruto doesn't come back or if he's dead, the Nine Tails could still attack, and the Nine Tails could come out of his body and attack or reappear somewhere else and attack, and and if like without the Nine Tails, we're at a major power disadvantage through all the villages because all the other villages have tailed beasts, and our tailed beast carrier is nowhere to be found. And so the Anbu clarified that it was those three over there, and they got exiled from the village, and their families weren't necessarily proud of what they did because now that they know that, yeah, they could hate Naruto all they want, but if they don't have Naruto there, they're at a major power disadvantage no matter what you do. Also, when Kaguya notices that Naruto's only carrying one half of the Nine Tails. So, Naruto wakes up, he sees Kaguya, and Kaguya, like, when she greets Naruto, she doesn't, like, she smiles. And Naruto kind of freaks out because she's pale as fuck. But he doesn't like, yeah, he Naruto freaks out and she's like, don't worry, relax. And Naruto's like, where are we? Who are you? Shit like that. And she was like, I saved you. You were gonna die from those Joni. I think that's what they're called. And Naruto kind of relaxes after, like, panicking. And she was like, do you need help with any of your training? I was watching you train for a long time. And Naruto was like, if you were watching me train, how come I didn't send you? Because your chakra is pretty huge. And she was like, I wasn't watching you from the floor, or like from the planet. I was watching you from up there. And Naruto looks and was like, the moon? Wait, you were watching me from the moon? How? And Kaguya was like, I would rather not get into detail, but yeah. So Naruto goes back to the village, and he goes back to the village with this newfound, like, confidence. Like, he walks through the village with confidence now. It's not like he walks through the village praying someone would notice him, because someone did notice him, and they noticed enough for them to keep him alive and, treat him nice. So he walks out the village with this newfound confidence. And when the school starts, well, the school has already started. Naruto's just a couple of days late. So Uchiha massacre is pushed back a couple of days. But, well, a whole week, because I didn't want to do the Uchiha massacre, because that's a part of the reason why. Yeah. Anyway, so Naruto walks into the school, and Sasuke goes into the school. And everybody, like, notices that Naruto is back and he has confidence. So everyone's, like, kind of freaking out because they don't know what Naruto's planning on doing. So when the school ends, some people decide to chill him, as in Sasuke. Because Sasuke remembers Naruto always being this troublemaker, or if he's not in trouble or making trouble, he secludes himself from people. So Sasuke decides to trail Naruto, and when he trails Naruto, he finds out that Naruto has someone that kind of takes care of him all the time, which is Kaguya. And it's kind of it's kind of hard to miss a person sitting that's damn near about as pale as fucking drywall. So he watches him for a little bit, and Kaguya is teaching him all the different types of releases and shit he's gonna have. And the first release Naruto got was Will release and Wind release. So yeah, those are the wait, no, should I give releases or not? I kind of like what I did the last time. Yeah, Naruto doesn't use releases. He uses his chakra. And as Kaguya is telling him, like, you can't use any shadow clones or anything like that. So Naruto's like, so how am I supposed to pass the exam? And Kaguya tells Naruto, show them what else you can do. Like, use your ability. And Naruto was like, oh yeah. And Sasuke's still watching this. Sasuke has not left. But basically, Naruto holds out his hand, and this Naruto focuses, and this massive, just bluish chakra arm appeared, like this chakra hand appears, and it's grabbing things, moving around, it's fighting for Naruto, shit like that. But Kaguya is not even worried about that, because at this point in time, Naruto's already mastered his ability, because that one room that they were in that buffs everything. So Naruto had to get used to it fairly quickly, or it was gonna go out of control. So Yeah. So Sasuke doesn't want to tell anybody because Sasuke knows that if anybody finds out, Naruto, like, she might have to go, she might get locked up, and Naruto might go back to the way he was before. So Sasuke doesn't do anything. So Kaguya finally decides that she's going to use a transformation jutsu to go inside the village. And 3 days pass, and she's made buddies with the Uchiha clan and stuff like that, basically making friends. And the only people that know that Kaguya is raising Naruto is the Uchiha clan. Because, let's be honest, they didn't like to leave village anyway, so they're going to try to keep all their cards underneath the table at all times. So, when Itachi had to slaughter the Uchiha clan, Kaguya knew it was going to happen, but she was going to try her best to try to stop it. But it happened, and when it happened, instead of it being Itachi, it was the Anbu Black Ops, meaning that Kaguya has now got her hatred back, meaning that before she leaves, like as the seal's pulling her away, she looks at Naruto because they were in the Uchiha compound as it was happening. So they just got there as it was finishing up. So she looks toward Naruto and she tells Naruto that she'll be back one day and that she loves him. And he should go find Sasuke. And she gets pulled back and Naruto is destroyed. Because not only does he know where she's at, but now the only person that he actually thought, the person that actually cared about him, he thinks that the only other person that cared about him has just been pulled away from him. And the Nine Tails tells Naruto, yo, you still got me. And Naruto was like, it's not the same. Because I may be able to see you in my head and see you, feel your chakra and everything, but it's different. And as Naruto's saying this, he's starting to cry, and Nine Tails is noticing that. And Naruto's like, it's different because I may be able to feel your chakra and see you inside my head, but I will never be able to, really know how you feel. As in, he's referring as into he'll never be able to touch the Nine Tails outside of his psyche. And the Nine Tails feels like shit now. I should have never said nothing. He just made me feel like I wasn't worth anything. I should have never said anything to this man. I should have just left well enough alone. And Naruto goes off and he goes to find Sasuke. And when he finds Sasuke, basically what happened was the only two, Itachi and Sasuke were they were out doing something. And Fugaku was fighting back. It wasn't like he wasn't, but he was. He used his Susanoo, which triggered Itachi to start headed back toward what's the name. And the seal is now weakened enough to the point where Naruto's hair is turning white. From the root to the tip of his hair, it's turning white. So when they get there, they see Naruto standing there. Well, they see Naruto walking back toward the village, and was like, I have to find Sasuke. I need to find Sasuke. And Itachi was like, what happened? And Naruto looks up at Itachi and was like, she's gone. And Itachi, knowing who Kaguya was, he kind of gets a little frustrated and angry. So he tells Sasuke to stay here, and he goes to the village. He goes to the Uchiha clan. And he notices that everyone there is dead, and they're the only last ones remaining. Oh, besides Itachi and his girlfriend. Those are the only two, besides Sasuke, that, and Obito and Madara, obviously, that are alive. So, yeah. Um, I don't remember his girlfriend's name, so I'm gonna just call him his girlfriend, because I don't know her name. Um, so as he's going throughout the thing, he noted like he sees her like coughing up like a little bit of blood because she has been stabbed and she's almost on her, like she's basically sitting on her deathbed. And Naruto's walking back into the Uchiha compound, and Itachi's noticing that Naruto's in kind of like a daze almost. And he looks up at the moon, and then he looks down at her, like at Itachi's girlfriend, and he heals her by using, like, just instinctively he healed her. Cause like Naruto was in a state of shock, so he don't know how he did it. He just know he healed her. And Naruto kind of like passes out because he used a move that he shouldn't have been able to use. Like he used an ability that he shouldn't have been able to use until the seal weakened a little bit more, but he used it anyway, which means he he kind of tried to go past the seal, but the seal, after like he used the move, the seal tightened a little bit. So now only thing that's on him is different is his hair starting to change white. So he passes out for a couple of days, and everyone notices that the doctors and the third Hokage notices that Naruto's hair is turning white, and Itachi immediately like starts ruthlessly training, not ruthlessly, but like just starts training Sasuke. And when Naruto finally gets out the hospital, Naruto goes back to his house, and Sasuke is like kind of like how he is in canon, because like his parents did die, but it's not by his own brother. So now it's just like they're trying to figure out who the hell killed their family. Their family. So yeah, and when they go and try to check on Naruto in the hospital, they know that the doctor told them that Naruto left already. And they go to Naruto's house, and they knock on Naruto's door, and Naruto basically tells them to just go away. I don't want to talk to you or anyone anymore. The only person I want to talk to is her. And Kaguya is watching this, and she's like, she's so pissed off right now. So yeah. Itachi tells Naruto that you at least have to go to school. Like, that's the least you can do. And Naruto's like, fine, I'll go. And the next day comes and Naruto is in school, but he's not, because everybody was so used to Naruto being that happy-go, because he had that confidence that I was talking about earlier. Everybody was like hoping that Naruto would keep that same confidence after the Uchiha massacre and everything. But he didn't. He went, quiet, basically. And hold on. So when Naruto, like, their teacher, I forgot his name, asks him, like, are you good? And basically asking Naruto, is he okay? And Naruto's like, I'm not talking to you. And the teacher was like, what do you mean? You have to talk to me. Naruto's like, I don't have to talk to anyone in here. I was only told to go to school, not to talk to anyone. And everybody in the class, and like Hinata, he did still save Hinata from the bullies and shit. So Hinata does, um, yeah, the vibe. But Hinata like notices the change in Naruto, and the bell, like, this is like toward the end of the class. So the bell rings and Naruto gets up and he leaves. And before he walks out the door, they were like, the exam is coming up tomorrow. And Naruto starts walking home, and Sasuke walks up behind him and was like, yo, Naruto, I know you lost the person that cared about you the most, and you didn't even know, your real parents, but, maybe it was for the best. And Naruto turns around and was like, what do you mean? And he was like, think about it. Both of our parents are gone. Like, you lost your parents when you were born, and you lost the only other person that treated you. Like, you were something other than just a nuisance and a pest. So, maybe you should think, maybe you shouldn't cry because it happened. Maybe you should be happy because of the fact that you can remember the good times to get rid of all the bad ones. And Naruto turns around and was like, oh, that's funny, given the fact that you actually have family left. Itachi. The only thing I have left of any reminderings of my real parents is the Ninetales. And the only thing that I have left of my mom, which he's referring to as Kaguya, is my chakra. So, don't talk to me about the good and the bad when mine is far worse than yours. And Naruto just walks off. And Sasuke, like, knowing that what Naruto is saying is kind of true. Now, some of y'all might be like, well, Sasuke's parents died right in front of him, and, he actually got to enjoy having parents. But Naruto not only had to endure not having parents in general for, like, the first few years of his life. For, like, a month or two, he actually had a parent that cared about him. And then she disappeared after the Uchiha massacre. Like, she got forced back into the seal. And Naruto goes and he stares up. Instead of going home for the rest of the night, Naruto goes and he stares at the moon. Because he knows that that's where Kaguya is. So he goes and he stares up at the moon. And he gets in his feels. He was like, why can't you, like, be down here with me? It's not the same if you're not down here with me. I want you to be down here with me. So, can you come down? And Kage, like, this is, like, physically pissing her off to the highest degree, because she knows she can't leave the seal, because she still holds that hatred for the Yambu Black Ops. So it's like, I want to go down there, but I can't because of my hatred, but I want to go down it now. So yeah, Naruto basically he sits there, and I'm gonna say Zetsu appears and tells Naruto that if Kaguya could be down here, 9 times out of 10 she would be spending that time with you. And Naruto looks over and was like, oh yeah? And what are you? And And Black Zetsu explains everything. And Naruto was like, so, in order for her to come back down here and stay down here, is if you gather up all the tailed beasts, put them inside of someone, then you have to stab them or whatever and she'll reform down here. And he was like, yeah, basically. And Naruto was like, but if the tail beast gets taken out of me, I'm gonna die, so that's not gonna happen. I'll find another way. And Zetsu was like, this is the only other way. And then Zetsu sent, like, notices someone coming. And who it is may shock you. Let me stop. So, it's basically Hinata and her dad. Because in this one, I'm going to say Hinata's dad is a little bit more caring towards Hinata. Because Hinata is not, the pushover that she was in canon. I'm going to say she was actually pretty decent compared to Neji. Instead of, like, just absolute garbage compared to Neji. So, hold on. So, when, when Hinata and her father sees Naruto, they, ask him, what is he doing all the way out here? And Naruto answers, what does it matter? Like, no one else in the village ever really cared about me. And the Hinata's dad kind of tells Naruto, like, you never really knew that because the only person that you hung around was the person that was the Uchiha clan. And he's not sentimental. He just tells it how it is. And the only reason why he's there is to protect Hinata. So, he's like, anyway, he pushes her ahead, like, in front of him and was like, she wanted to talk to you. And Naruto never took his eyes off the moon. Like, his face never looked down to see who it was. He just sensed them and knew that it was them. So, he was like, what do you want? And the first thing that Hinata asked was, why are you staring at the moon? And Naruto was like, because there's someone that I care about that can't come down here due to her circumstances, and she was taking care of me, and I want her down here, and that's where she's at. So I come out here and look up at the moon to try to feel closer to her. And as Hinata like hears this, she notices that Naruto is starting to cry. Like, tears are starting to fall down his face. And Hinata starts looking up at the moon and was like, do you mind if I stay here with you? And Naruto was like, it doesn't matter. So basically, that entire night, like, I'm going to just sum it up because it was basically them just staring at the moon and her dad getting tired. Because their dad didn't want to go to sleep because, she was out there and they didn't want anybody to try to kidnap her like they did the other time. So, basically, she decided, the next day of school started, which was the exam. And Hinata was relatively tired. And, like, she was extremely tired because the only amount of sleep that she got was when Naruto told her she should go home because there was only like an hour left before school started. And the moon's almost, gone completely. And Hinata looks him, so why are you still on here then? And Naruto was like, because it's not entirely almost gone. I can still look at it. And she sighs and was like, okay. And her dad was like, finally fucking sleep. So they go home and they go to sleep. And Naruto kind of smirks a little bit. Kind of like how he got a little confidence back. Because now he knows that other people actually care about him. Just a little bit. So that's the first friend that Naruto has made. Notice, I said friend. Shut the fuck up. I'm not shipping them two. In fact, I don't even think I want Naruto to have a ship in this one. Now that I think about it, he should. So, he may or may not have a ship. Maybe it might be tomorrow like the other one. Maybe it won't be. Maybe y'all gotta be quiet and figure it out for yourselves. So, I don't know why the fuck I just told y'all to be quiet. Like, I can hear you through your own phone screens. Anyway, so, Naruto basically, like, comes into class. And he sees Hinata, and Naruto looks relatively okay today. Like, he's not as bad as he was before. So when they get in line and they were like, do the shadow clone jutsu, Naruto was like, I can't do the shadow clone. No, basically, when it was Naruto's turn, he was like, I can't do the shadow clone jutsu or the transformation jutsu, but I can do something better. And the instructors was like, oh yeah, what can you do? And Naruto focuses his chakra, and the hand forms, and it grabs Hinata, and Hinata was kind of freaking out, and Naruto was like, sorry, but you're the only other person that I think I would have been able to grab and, justify it later. And she was visibly angry. Like, she was visibly upset. Like, this wasn't something that she took lightly. So Naruto was like, fuck. Yeah. So Naruto basically tells so Naruto basically tells him like, I can do that, and they pass Naruto. And Hinata was kind of dizzy. Well, not dizzy, but a little paranoid now, because she now knows that Naruto can just use his chakra to pick her up and take her away. And Sasuke was like, so that's his unique ability, as in that's what that girl said it was. So everybody passes and everybody goes home. They're announcing the teams tomorrow. And instead of going home, Sasuke notices Hinata following Naruto to the forest, and Sasuke goes with them, trails behind them. And Itachi, noticing that Sasuke is trailing Naruto and Hinata, trails Sasuke, and Itachi's girlfriend trails Itachi, because, yeah, it's like a little train of trailing almost. So when they get to where they're going, and they just start like this, like they're just standing there staring up at the moon. Sasuke comes up and asks them why, and Naruto gives him the same explanation. So Sasuke was like, guess I can be here. And he stares up at it. And when they get, when Itachi and his girlfriend, when Itachi gets there and a couple of minutes later his girlfriend gets there, they're like, what are they doing? So they walk out there, and instead of even saying anything, all they did was they put one of their hands, because they haven't necessarily seen or talked to Naruto or seen Naruto have people this close to him. All they did was they walked out there and they put their hands on Naruto's shoulders and told him that he was loved, whether he knew it or not. And that hits Naruto differently. And he tears up a lot. And that kind of changes, like, it does relax Kaguya a little bit to know that Naruto's unwillingly making friends. So the next day comes, and everybody notices that the smile that Naruto had before is kind of returning to his face almost. So, hold on. Okay, so after Naruto, like when they get into school, it's Naruto. Well, Itachi walks Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata to school. He made a deal with what's the face, her father. So yeah, she gets escorted to school by Itachi now. And the only reason why he let that slide, or why he let it happen, was because, well, Itachi has his Mangekyo, and I'm pretty sure Mangekyo Sharingan, if she was getting attacked or, you know, he needed to defend her from something major, pretty sure Mangekyo Sharingan would protect her way more than an Byakugan would ever do. Unless they knew the 8 trigger, like the rotation thing. But a part of me doubts that, given the fact that that's a forbidden move, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm laying down. I feel comfortable now, people. Anyway, so Naruto basically tells them, well, the every group goes out how it wasn't canon, and since Sakura didn't really know Naruto, the only thing that she got from Naruto was the fact that he's a Naruto's. And everybody still kind of hates him for that fact. So she does still kind of hate him for that fact. But she's on the team with Sasuke. So they meet Kakashi. Like that's like instead of Naruto pulling the prank, it was Sakura pulling the prank. So yeah. And Naruto just grins a little bit when it happens. And Sasuke is like such an annoyance, but he sees Naruto grin, so it gives Sasuke a little bit of clarity knowing that Naruto can now smile again. So they go up to the roof and they're talking about what are you planning on doing, like, when you get older? Sasuke was finding out who killed off his clan and restoring it. Like killing the people that killed off his clan, restoring it, and then Naruto's dream was becoming Hokage and finally getting to see his quote unquote mom again. And he looks up at the sky, and Sasuke looks up there too. And Sakura was like, this is just some weird thing that's going on now, isn't it? And Sakura's dumb thing didn't change. So Kakashi tells them to go home and don't eat. When instead of like going home, Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata, like this is literally just became a nightly tradition. Like everybody that was there the other day came back and did the same thing over again. So basically what they did was they do everything during the day. Like they do everything that they were supposed to be doing. And that way they would have enough time to go and do what they need, like do the moon thing with Naruto. Not knowing that if they don't do it with Naruto, it's not really going to change how he feels now, because he knows now that there are people that care about him other than her. So, they all go and do it, and the next day comes, and they're waiting for Kakashi at the training ground. And when Kakashi gets there, he's explaining the test. And this is where I'm going to be ending this part off.
I will be uploading twice today because I do have other what ifs, and I'm like I said before, this isn't replacing any of them. I just wanted to get this out there and let y'all know that I was remaking this one. Anyway, if y'all liked it, enjoy it. Like, if y'all liked it, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. You know, the normal vibe.